Catholic Church vows to excommunicate priests who follow new Washington state law requiring them to report confessions to COP. I don't understand. The Catholic priests should go and confess their confessions to cops. I don't understand. The Catholic Church has issued a stern warning to clergy in Washington state. Any priest who violates the sanctity of confession by complying with a new law requiring the reporting of child abuse admission will face automatic excommunication. The controversial law set to take effect on July 27 eliminates the long-standing legal confidentiality of the confessional for clergy, igniting a fierce standoff between Catholic leaders and lawmakers over the boundaries of religious liberty and child protection. I'm still trying to understand. The Archdiocese of Seattle, along with several bishops, argued that the law not only violates canon law, which considers the seal of confession sacrosanct, but also encroaches on constitutional protections of religious freedom. However, supporters insist the law is a critical measure to protect minors from abuse and ensure accountability. The law highlights a long-standing tension between religious freedom and state's obligation to protect children by compelling priests to report admissions of child abuse made during confession. Okay. Like if somebody comes to confess to the priest, like somebody has committed a sin, the way they go to the priest and they confess their sins to him. If the person is confessing about he abusing a child or the person abuses a child, the priest should call the police and report to them so that they can come and arrest that person. I don't know if that would be possible for real though. It is well though. Washington joins a small but growing list of states challenging the inviolability of religious confession. Legal and religious experts warn the law could set a precedent for how other states approach mandatory reporting laws for clergy, potentially reshaping how privileged religious communications are treated under U.S. law. The new law mandates that clergy report suspected child abuse without exception for information disclosed during the sacrament of reconciliation. Catholic clergy may not violate the seal of confession or they will be excommunicated from the church. The Archdiocese of Seattle said, according to Fox News, Wahala can't be like waiting again. Wahala be like bicycle. Police, they mandate say if somebody comes to confess to you, you report to us. The Catholic body is saying if you do that, we are going to excommunicate you from the church. What to do like this? The police should find a way to get their confession. Why will you be mandating them to tell you, to call you, if somebody comes to confess about child abuse? If the person wants to report to the police, the person would have come by themselves to confess to the police, but they went to the Catholic priest. The priest has the right to keep their secrets confidential. I don't even understand that logic of going to confess your sin to a Catholic priest. Why do I have to go and do that? I can stay in the corners of my room and confess my sins to God, and He is faithful and just to forgive me. Why do I have to go and do a confession to the priest? I don't understand that logic. Since we are under canon law, breaking the confessional seal is one of the gravest offenses a priest can commit, resulting in automatic excommunication reserved to the Apostolic See, the Vatican. The U.S. Department of Justice is now reviewing the law to determine whether it violates First Amendment protections of religious freedom. In an interview with Newsweek, Professor Michael Dillon, a Catholicism scholar at the University of New Hampshire, said the law strikes at the heart of a core sacrament. For the government to require priests to report any instance of sex abuse learned through confession directly violates the core of the sacrament and its significance in Catholic life. The controversy may wrongly suggest that the Church opposes abuse reporting, of course, because if they do that, nobody will come to the priest to confess again. Even if it's not about abuse or anything, they'll feel that, their secret is not safe. So nobody will come and confess again. When in fact, it has made significant reforms in recent years. Professor Anthea Butler, Chair of Religious Studies at the University of Pennsylvania, added, "This is about the seal of the confessional. If broken, a priest faces excommunication. It is a serious collision between state law and canon law, a terrible situation, but one the Church treats with utmost spiritual and legal seriousness." The Archdiocese of Seattle reassured Catholics that confession remains sacred. All Catholics must know and be assured that their confessions remain sacred, secure, confidential, and protected by the laws of the Church. Archbishop Paul Etienne Seattle emphasized, priests cannot comply with this law if the knowledge of abuse is obtained during the sacrament of reconciliation. Meanwhile, Assistant Attorney General Hamid K. Dillon told the New York Post, SB 5375 demands that Catholic priests violate their deeply held faith in order to obey the law, a breach of the Constitution and the free exercise of religion. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson defended the measure. Now, wow. So what are they now going to do now? We look forward to protecting Washington kids from sexual abuse in the face of this investigation from the Trump administration. Unless blocked by legal injunction or legislative amendment, the law will go into effect on July 27. The DOJ's Civil Rights Division is currently reviewing its constitutionality. Catholic bishops in Washington have indicated they are prepared to face legal consequences rather than breach canon law. Exactly why? Why would they tell them to be telling police something somebody came to tell them in confidence? No, it's confidential now. Why? If you need somebody to come and confess to you, you find a way for the person to come and confess to you. I don't understand though. Chukwuka says, shame to Washington state lawmakers and the state of Washington for forcing the Catholic priests to give them confidential information from suspected child abuse members of the public instead of using modern technology within their reach exactly to get authentic information from the child abuse suspects. Abi, let them conduct their own investigation. If you want to catch child abuse, whatever, do it by yourself. Why are you compelling the priest to do that on your behalf? It is wrong. It is very, very wrong. Oliver Honor says, I don't know why people worry themselves here. America is nothing compared to what the church have been through, yet still came out stronger. The church is even lazier and more backsliding when facing new challenges. Will the authority go about asking priests what people said in the confessional? Even at gunpoint, no priest will reveal someone's confession. Exactly. Because I don't understand. You now come and meet me and say, what did that person say? What did that person confess about? Don't be smart, Now, wow. Nwobi says, can these lawmakers make laws against any Islamic practice? I'm not interested in RCM, but I'm a fair-minded person. It's not Nigeria, it's America. I don't think they have a lot of Muslims in America. Probably people that came from other countries to live there. It is wrong for somebody to come and confide in you, then you not tell the police. It doesn't make sense. Now, listeners, over to you. Leave your thoughts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.